Thank you for taking the time to click on L.O.R.E. Please subscribe here and don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv/L.O.R.E Liveplay.
Hello, and welcome back to L.O.R.E for ExtraLife Game Day. I am your GM for this session of L.O.R.E's ExtraLife Game Day streaming marathon. My name is Ryan Kazmarchik, if you're nasty. And I'm going to be running a Dungeon and Dragon, which is what I call the super special D&D 5e one shot. Today is a very special day, as you all know, as being ExtraLife Game Day. ExtraLife is a charity all throughout the country that we roll for, but especially today that raises money for sick and injured kids all across the country. We are trying to raise at least $500 by the end of this year, and hopefully today we'll put a hefty dent in that. But we raise money through ExtraLife, particularly while we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, through natural ones. Each time we roll a natural one, you will hear this sound. And that will be your cue to go ahead. There's a donation link somewhere around here. Donate $1 and or match donation or whatever you feel comfortable with. Our correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Yeah. Our local affiliate for ExtraLife is the Penn State Children's Hospital.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's right. So every dollar you donate goes directly to ExtraLife. It does not go through us at all. We are simply the vessel by which you can help make a difference for these kids. Now, before we go any further, Chris, do you want to talk about Foundry?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I do want to throw one extra thing in, since it is ExtraLife. We have a... Okay, let me turn this damn background off. Yeah, so... Ooh, that fucks everything up, doesn't it? Nope, there we go. We have this super awesome, exclusive ExtraLife dice set. It lights up when you open it.
Ooh. Nice, very nice.
I didn't know about that.
Muy nice.
And when you roll a nat 20, there's the little ExtraLife symbol. Nice. We are giving it away to one random lucky winner after our last session tonight. So the more you donate, the more the odds, or something like that. I don't math well. Anywho, our informal sponsor, Foundry, is a super awesome tabletop, virtual tabletop system that you can go to, and you will most likely see it today. Boy, a million different things. I'm gonna put Space Cat behind me because cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Jesus. It supports a whole heck of a lot of platforms like D&D and just a lot. I don't have the list in front of me. I'm doing a terrible job at this, but you can find them at foundryvtt.com if you're interested in checking it out yourself. And again, you will see it here. And you can definitely see it played on Mondays and Thursdays on our 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time schedule. Mondays hosted by Matthew Bodypillow Garo. And yeah, that's Mondays called The Guise of Untamed Beast. And on our Thursday campaign, where Ryan joins us, and we have a new Dungeon Master, George, that's going to be taking over. And that's a New Horizon on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that's it. I should just shut up and yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna be a
all
Kenku
right.
now.
So, with that out of the way, I want to go ahead and introduce our daring Dungeoneers. Say hi, daring Dungeoneers.
Hi, daring
daring
Dungeoneers.
Oh, that was amazingly good for being virtual.
Bonus
We're going
points.
to just run through a quick introduction, starting with Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm also known as ChronoRaven28 on Twitch. And I'm playing Zethas, a Shadarkai ranger.
Amazing. Next up is George.
Hey, I'm George, also known online as Silver Moose. You can find me on Twitter at JSLivingstonVO, and I will be playing a Leonin barbarian named Parthos.
Awesome.
Porthos.
Okay.
Very strong.
Next up, we have DG.
Hello, I'm DG, also known as the one with the bad lighting. Great to be here. Hello, I'm going to be playing a human artificer by the name of Kellum.
Also known as Sandfade Cisco.
Sandfade Cisco. My town, my people.
The Invisible Man. Next up, we have Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm on Discord and Twitch as Joybane Braun Anvil, who is the character I'm playing today. He is a Tiefling Tempest Cleric.
Incredible. Then we have Raven.
Hi, I'm Raven. I'm playing Griselda or Grizz. She's a fairy rogue arcane trickster.
Awesome. I love it. And last but not least, back to Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Ferguson. I'm gonna get so tired of saying this later today. So I play Lyric, the bard I'm doing it backwards. The Kenku bard, who was a former circus freak, entertainer / entertainer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think with all these incredible players and incredible PCs, we're going to have a great time today, and I hope that you all at home enjoy it. But without further ado, why don't we get into a Dungeon and Dragon? Okay, so this is the part where I speak a lot. Kingdom of Galvaran has had no shortage of troubles, and therefore no shortage of work for adventurers such as yourselves. The king himself is lament to come into the public eye to address these issues, but their personal council does well enough to manage internal affairs as well as interface with third-party contractors, or adventuring parties, as you might know them. Yours is one such adventuring party. Having traveled all throughout the realm and accomplishing deeds most parties find to be too dangerous, you have gathered a great deal of recognition and acclaim. Some see you as famous, others infamous. The King's Council has recognized your worth either way, and now has the reclusive king himself. Your next mission came directly from him, and it is a mission of great importance and great danger: slaying a dragon. The dragon was reported to be seen terrorizing the coastal regions, sinking ships for fun, collecting and hoarding the treasures they transported. Your instructions are clear: infiltrate the dragon's lair, slay the beast, and return its hoarded treasure for the good of the kingdom. Your instructions bring you to the entrance of a cavern in a rocky outcropping jutting out from coastal dunes south of Galvaran. And it is in this sort of craggy outcropping of a cave, which you stand about 100 feet or so into the mouth of this cavern, where the light of the midday sun begins to fade, and it stands an enormous archway and 2 large stone doors. As you stand before this, I would like each of you to describe what your character looks like, starting with spin the wheel. It's invisible, you can't see it. Starting with Kellum, what does your character look like?
Yeah, so Kellum is a human of.
Sorry.
Ah!
It's starting.
Gets me
Right,
every
your
time.
boss
Fall,
music.
everyone dies.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for coming.
I was about to say that we're all dead. Kellum is a human of average height, a little stockier in build, but not anything immensely like noticeable. Head of shaggy curly brown hair, pretty young, like 19, 20 at the oldest. He wears very odd outfit. He wears like what looks like a leather cloak, but like short, kind of what we would call like an old school leather jacket. He has a bandana tied around his neck that's tucked into the jacket. He's got thick leather gloves, this big, huge pack that he wears on his back that has a lot of inventions, trinkets, knickknacks, all that kind of stuff. He's got slung onto that bag currently is what the party would know as his arcane firearm. It's this wood and metal contraption that has a barrel that kind of flares out at the end that he uses to cast his spells and whatnot through it, with a little handle built on partway up the barrel, which is what they call the all-purpose tool. And then he's also got these canisters on his belt and around some smaller belts on his thighs. So he's just decked out, ready to go. Little human guy.
Incredible. So many belts, like a Square Enix character.
Exactly.
And not one
All
of them is
right.
holding up his pants.
And goggles. Yeah, goggles. That is currently on his forehead.
Wonderful. All right. And what's where is Kellum standing amongst this group?
Towards the front, definitely, especially with the large stone doors. He's wanting to get in there and investigate, like if there's any traps, if there's any language, if there's any magical whatnots happening. All a general overview of what we're looking at here.
Certainly. And he very might well get the chance. Next to describe themselves, Lyric.
Okay, Lyric is a 4-foot raven-styled Kenku in a kind of like a roguish cloak, faded greens and blacks, and in his attire that he's wearing, it's like leather, but there's like feather laced in between, as it's studded leather, and 4 feet tall. He's got a black stained cherry lute that he has that's missing a string, and not very fancy looking for a bard of all things, but just kind of hunching over and just lurking around the gang, not saying anything. He's just there for moral support, really. And his current goal is to decide which one of these party members is his champion to follow.
Awesome. All right. So next to describe their character, Grizz. What do you look like?
Griselda is fairy. She's like a foot tall. She's like a coppery orange. And the party knows, because we've been adventuring for a while, that the angrier she gets, the redder she gets.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got like long kind of auburn hair, and like some dragonfly wings that are like coppery, reddish, shimmery, and she's got little sparkles that follow her everywhere she goes. And daggers, because she's stabby stab.
Mhm. Right.
She's wearing like basically just a bunch of like leaves and petals and shit. She's just sewn together. Well, she had somebody else do it. She doesn't do manual labor.
Naturally.
Of course not.
Okay. All right. Next is Joybane.
Joybane is a male tiefling, probably about 30. He's 5'10", bright purple skin, and gold eyes, and his horns kind of sweep backwards over his head, dragonish on their own. He has wings, but the left wing is basically sinew, and there's no membrane anymore. The right wing's pretty much together still, but ragged. Everything he has on, his chainmail, all of his clothes and armor are dwarven made. Even his hair is pulled back. It's indigo, and it's in like this stacked dwarven style. And he has again, a dwarven warhammer and shield just ready to go. And he's probably right about middle of the group.
Right. Wonderful. Next, we're going to have, there's only
I
two
didn't
of
say where Grizz was, but I'm going to say
Oh.
now it's because she's just kind of flying around like an ADD fairy.
you.
That's,
Just doing
there we
some
go.
figure eights above
Yeah.
everybody. Just
Looking over here,
weaving in
looking
and
over
about.
there. Everyone wishes you would just stop.
Perfect. All right. All right. So next we have Zethus.
I'm Zethus. I'm a male Shadarkai ranger. I grew up in the Feywilds, but have since been lost from home and haven't been trying to find my way back. Been hanging out with my friends. Hopefully we can figure out a way back to the Feywilds. And he's about 5'9", kind of slender, sort of athletic because he likes to climb the trees and be up at great heights so that he could see far off in the distance to see any incoming danger. And he has a pan flute that he has sort of strung around his neck. It's one of the last things that he has from his family that he tries to remember as much as possible about them.
Awesome. And whereabouts would Zethus be?
He'd be near the front, just looking at the doors, trying to see, if there's any way that we could get through them, or if there's a trap or something with it. I'd be helping out Kellum.
Perfect. And then last but certainly not least, we have Parthos. What does Parthos look like?
What is to say? But that Parthos is big, strong, tallest of all the group. Most good looking of all the group, too.
Well,
So obviously he's a Leon, and he's 6'3", so he is the tallest. Got a big golden mane. He's a barbarian, so he doesn't have any armor, and he spent a good portion of his youth on a ship as a sailor. So he's got he's got some I wouldn't say some pantaloons as much as because he doesn't like anything that's restricting. So he's
Sure.
got a kilt-like looking thing, and he's got a big leather strap across his chest that holds his backpack and his great axe when he's not holding it.
Okay.
And he would be standing probably behind everybody, just so that he's not, he in his mind, if he stood in front of everybody, he would be blocking their view. They would have a great view, but still, they wouldn't be able to see beyond
Yeah.
me. So I respectfully stand in the back.
He's a thick boy.
He's a good
And
puppers.
very, very humble. Incredible. All right. So you all are standing in front of these large stone double doors. The doors are, sort of like carved and inlaid with this, tapestry of intricate draconic imagery. And in this large archway above them, there appear to be, some, very large sort of like scrawled runes, some carved runes above the archway. Does anybody here speak or read Draconic?
I do.
I do.
I think I do.
All right.
Yo!
Awesome.
Literate.
Y'all read the assignment. So, for those who, I would say, Kellum, since you are inspecting the door closely, and Zethus, you get this too, since you're next to him, helping him. You see that these very large runes in Draconic, they read out something along the lines of, "No solicitors, please call ahead."
Right. Did anybody send a messenger to the dragon telling him that we'll be coming today?
Yeah, should we made an appointment to kick his ass, or is that like
I don't know that would be advisable.
It is kind of rude on our parts, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone should always be ready to welcome us, specifically me. So I leave
That
that
is a
to
good
all of
point.
you.
We have royalty with us, so
I know. Thank you for reminding us, Your Majesty.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you're welcome. Anytime.
Our reputation precedes us.
Exactly.
What to be expected?
do we like knock? Is there a doorbell around here?
Actually, what you do see, the doors aren't shut tight. They are ever so slightly ajar. There's about 6 inches or so of space in between them. But beyond that is total darkness.
I'll lean over to Zethos and I'll say, "Hey, when's a door not a door?
When is a door not a door?
When it's ajar." And I'll start pushing the door open.
Lyric laughs. Lyric enjoys that. He's just like,
Good timing.
So the doors, they go out. It would be a pull rather than a push.
Shoot.
So
Oh,
I
so if
see
you
him.
did-
So
so
I
if you
see
do wanna
him
push
pushing.
it.
it's like the
This
Far
door,
Side
like,
comic.
no.
You have to.
And I walk over. Move
Okay.
before you hurt yourself. Let
Yeah,
me.
okay. Thanks,
So
big
I'm
guy.
gonna grab the door and pull it.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check because it is a giant stone door. It's about 6 inches thick of stone. Jeez.
25.
Easy enough
Ooh.
for you. You just like one-handed, big Leonin claw just and just
I do the
wrench this door open.
I do the Fezzik thing. I just pull it open.
Yep.
Fezzik, thank you.
All right. As this door opens, the light gets a little bit brighter inside, and you guys come into this sort of like more worked stone pathway, just like a straight hallway that goes on for a few feet before it sort of like splits into this T. It is lit in here. There are some like ever burning sconces ever so often on the wall. And the pathway stretches to the left and right, sort of like ever so slightly like curving.
Kellum will still instinctually pull down his goggles of night because, who knows?
Sure. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty well lit in here. So if you look at the sconces, you just get a little bit of, ooh.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but up to you. All right. Doors open and your path is clear before you.
Well, we got a left or a right path. Can I see any farther down the left path?
Sure. Both paths, as you like step in there, both paths sort of like go off in a sort of like symmetrical way. Down the left path is just, more worked stone tunnel. You get a glimpse of another sort of, a like archway threshold off on the left side of the hallway.
It looks like there's another door off to the left path.
If I look closely at the stone, could I see any telltale markings of like something with big giant claws was raking its way through here?
Sure. You know what? Give me a perception check or investigation.
We're gonna go with investigation.
Riz would also like to kind of like swoop in and look around over here and over there and investigate if she could.
How's a 28?
28. Oh, so good. Grizz,
Don't even
perception, investigation.
That's 22.
22. Perfect. So you both like these hallways are not like human-sized hallways. They're like dragon-sized hallways. So like they're very wide across and very tall, sort of like arched hallways, work stone, not rough like a cave or anything. What you could see, Kellum, is that like it doesn't seem like there have been like large claws or anything dragging along the walls, but like some like the stone has been just eroded, just through like use and like what you assume would be a dragon body just moving through them from time to time. And Grizz, you see this as well. You both also see the floor of this is just like a dirt sort of floor, and there are like, again, dragging sort of like you would imagine that a dragon's tail, as it goes back and forth, as it's like walks these halls, sort of like sweeps the dirt behind it and everything. But you also see some smaller footprints, more humanoid, and some humanoid footprints, some like larger, like maybe, I don't know, hooves and claws. But maybe you get the sense that maybe it's not just a dragon in here.
And did either path show more heavy foot traffic, or was it pretty similar?
It was pretty similar from your 28 investigation check, which is ridiculous. You kind of determine that there is a pattern to these where it's just like they kind of go around in a circle, and the circle goes only goes like from left to right, like clockwise around this, and you kind of get the feeling that this is a circular hallway.
I'll definitely let the group know that this looks like a circular hallway.
I concur.
Which direction would you like to go?
Well, I did manage to see a little bit of an archway off the left side. There might be another room that way.
Sure.
When in doubt, I go left.
Sounds about right.
I'm left-handed, so let's... Oh.
Oh boy.
See, Kellen's not the only one with jokes.
All right. So
I'm still thinking about how cool it was that I opened that door.
Yeah.
So I'm just like
This is just going along.
I'm not paying attention, and I see them start drifting left, and I'm like, oh, I guess we're going that way.
All right. All right, Joybane, what are you thinking about in this moment?
I'll go with the consensus of the group.
Okay.
After determining the hall does make a circle, kind of, okay, I don't have to go right.
Incredible.
Come
So you
on.
guys go off to the left, path, and as you go, you do see what Zethus had described before. There seems to be a recessed archway in the wall, in the left hand of the wall on the left path. There is actually two. What seems to be these like two doors. They're about, doors. They're more just like archways with a slight, inlet to another chamber. And you determine it's just like there are two other rooms off to the left side here. But there's no like real like door. It's more of a beaded curtain situation in your folks' attic. Sorry. I'm sorry, that was not a good reference. But yeah, so they have these two other chambers off to the left side. And actually, as you go along, you can also see as the path goes along, you see another sort of recessed opening farther up. It has a little bit more light coming through it.
Well, Chris wants to keep an eye out for traps, but it doesn't really look like there's too much right now since we're kind of just walking through a hallway. I figure we just keep going.
I mean, should we check out those little side rooms? I mean, we're already trespassing without an appointment.
I mean, we may as well.
I'm very curious.
I really want to see what's in those rooms.
I've never been in a
I'm
dragon's
attracted to the
home
light,
before.
but yeah, I guess we can check out these boring rooms too. Sure, fine, whatever.
All right. So for the purposes of like theater of the mind here, there's a door on the right and a door on the left. Which one do you want to go in first?
When in doubt, go left.
All right.
You're all going into the sort of archway opening to the left. It leads to a sort of like a curved hall that eventually opens up into a large cavernous sort of room. In here, again, it's, they've got the ever-burning sconces, so there's plenty of light in here, though dimly lit. And as you look around the room, you don't really have to like, everything's so well lit and everything's out in the open. What you see is on the opposite side of the wall, once you come into this room, is a very large circular just hole, a pit in the middle of the floor. And sort of off to the side of it is sort of like this giant pile of like fluffy material, maybe like wool or like sheep's wool or something like that. And to the other side of the hole, you see some books.
Grizz flies right into that pile of fluffiness, and it's just like, oh, this is exactly what I need, actually. Yes, please.
Kellum has a really bad suspicion that this is the dragon's bathroom.
As that thought enters your head, another thing enters your nose, which is a smell.
Yep.
And it smells horrible.
Okay.
You kind of all are hit with this waft of this just horrible scent and whatever. I don't need to go into detail describing it because your thought may have been confirmed.
That
by
was
this.
not me. I did not do that.
No.
That's a bit more rank than what you've produced, Parthos.
We found his bathroom. This
Oh.
okay.
That's the other whatever.
All right,
All
that's
right.
enough curiosity. All right.
Yeah,
So you all sort
slowly
of like
back out. Yeah.
back out, holding your noses, just kind of coughing and just like, except for like even Grizz, you just go through the fluffy stuff, but as soon as you sort of notice like this smell, and the rest of your party sort of like just gagging and retching and like leaving. You also, I assume that you also like join them.
She grabs some fluff. She just takes it with her. She just puts it right into her bag. But yeah, absolutely. She flies the F out of there.
Yeah. So you got a little bit of fluff and you back out of that room. And there's the door to the right. And there's the more well-lit recess further up.
Are the doors shut?
No, it's sort of like
Just
an open, sort of like, kind of a snaking pathway, short snaking pathway into these other chambers.
Okay.
That wasn't pleasant. Do we want to take our chance with the door on the right now?
At this point, I think it might be just a storage closet. Let's just. I think we should go.
What if it's like a really big piano?
We've got to check it out now. We looked at this one. It can't possibly be any worse than the friggin' bathroom.
Exactly.
Outhouse? I don't want.
Okay. You going on the door on the right, or what?
I don't want to keep thinking about it. I don't want to keep thinking about it at all.
Check the right.
Yeah, let's check the right.
Okay. Who's going in? Who's going in first?
I guess.
Chris.
Yeah.
Does the door look heavy?
No, it's not a door. It's just a open. I say a door. It's
Doorway.
more of a doorway.
A doorway.
A doorway. A passage that like snakes off to another chamber. So I'm sorry. Who was going in first?
I think there was. I said I would, unless somebody else wants to.
Joybane and Grizz will like fly over her.
Oh, I
his
can't
shoulder.
fly.
Oh no, I know. But Grizz will fly.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Joybane and Grizz flying next to him. You guys go into the story first with the rest of you falling up. What you immediately see, again, another very large, well-lit chamber, sort of a circular, cavernous room. But what you see in here is in the middle of it is a huge sort of like raised up sort of, it almost looks like a platform or a stage or a dais, and surrounding it are hundreds and hundreds of candles, and dissimilar to the room that you were just in is very fragrant and nice smelling in here. The sort of like candles have this sort of like flowery scent that mingles very nicely with the earthy scent of being underground. And as you get there's another like two big piles of this sort of like fluff off to either side, and and a sort of like you look up and there's a sort of like chimney like hole in the ceiling, and as you get closer you realize that it's not a stage in the center but a sort of a basin, like a giant pool.
I think we found the bathtub.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Bathroom part 2, the decidedly nicer side.
Yeah, I can see why he'd keep them separate.
Right,
I don't know why he doesn't put a candle in the other room.
I am gonna go
Right.
look in the pool of water and see if I can see any like scales that I can.
Sure.
Or just
Go
anything.
ahead and make a I want to say like a investigation check, but you can make a investigation or a perception check.
All right, which one? Let me see. Let's do perception.
Okay.
Natural one.
16.
16. You go up to the water, and like, well, you're like over 6 feet tall, and this sort of like raised basin is about 5 feet off the ground. So you're just able to like lean over to it and just like put your hand through the water, and with a 16 you could tell the water's kind of cold right now, but you can also determine that like this water and where you are on the coast, it kind of like has a sort of like gentle sort of flow to it. Like this water is coming in from the outside. And you do actually like you dredge along with your hand there, and you do actually pick up a small scale, like a chunk of one, a brilliant brass scale.
I turn around and I look at the group, and I hold up the scale. I say, "Ooh, very shiny."
Ah!
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Very shiny. Ah.
That's pretty good.
I love it. Do you need to hold on to that? Do you want me to hold on to it? Is that... Just asking, just, you know.
About how big is it compared to her? Like she's.
It's about the size of her, actually.
Oh. JK.
Yeah.
I will keep it in my bag for safekeeping for you.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's
oh.
actually
You
anyone
know, I'll
who
just show up to look at it.
anyone who is seeing this scale, give me a history check or a nature check
Nature? Oh, it's gonna be great.
or Arcana.
Oh, I'm gonna do Arcana then.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
24.
24.
He's large
Arcana?
snake, basilisk,
24
something.
Arcana. Yep.
Okay.
I did a nature check. Nature or Arcana would have been the same for me.
Sure.
None of us know what this is.
What did you get for nature? Joybane, did you roll?
Oh, I did. It's bad.
Oh, okay.
D&D Beyond's being very kind to me so far.
Oh,
Let's hope
yeah.
it stays that way.
Sure.
Oh my god.
So everyone who's sort of like looking at this thing, like that it looks like a dragon scale. But other than that, it's like, ooh, shiny dragon.
Oh god.
Brass, bronze, maybe, can't really tell. Kellum, dragons are magical beings. You know that this is a brass scale. You know a bit about brass dragons and their proclivity for like coastal regions, and you also can determine that what Parthos is holding is just a piece of a scale. It's not a whole one. It's a piece of a much larger scale, and can kind of deduce that it's a big dragon that this might belong to.
Oh boy. Would Kellum also know, just because I don't remember, what element the brass dragon is associated with, or would that be a little...
No, with a
Okay.
24 Arcana, you know that a brass dragon has a proclivity for fire.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Well, shit.
No, that's in the other room.
Yeah.
We don't let it go back there.
Kellum takes his arcane firearm off of his pack, and he grabs his all-purpose tool, and he sort of twists it a few ways, and it starts glowing purple. And then he puts it back on his back, and he says, looks like we're dealing with a fire dragon,
Oh,
and a really big one. Kind of limits my offensive capabilities, but that's all right. I'll help you guys out.
okay.
All right.
But yeah, oh boy.
All right. So, you guys coming out of this room?
Before we do, Lyric will step in front of the party and stand underneath the doorway and whip out his lute. And he will cast to a third level. Where are you? This one's fun. Motivational speech by a Kenku. Because that's what they do. And he'll just start strumming on his lute, and all that you make out is just a bunch of, like, for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
But he's like, symboling like, yeah.
That was touching, Lyric. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lyric.
Like, I imagine that he's done
Rousing.
this so many times, and we just kind of like,
Clap.
we just kind of patronize him, like,
Yay,
oh, that's very,
Lyric.
it's very nice, very beautiful.
We just
Yeah,
assume what he's saying.
Did anybody catch that this time?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was a lot of compliments about me, so.
I still haven't learned
of
the
course.
language. It's very
Yes,
difficult.
obviously.
I'm just imagining that scene from the first Pirates movie with the parrot. It's just like, we sort of figured that means yes.
Yeah, so all 5 of you gain 5 temporary hit points and have advantage on wisdom saving throws
Yo.
Thank you.
for 1 hour.
Some
Huge.
okay.
I'll
What you guys
just
want to do?
put it in chat just for fun.
Oh, also, I'll say this now. When Kellum was twisting his what is it called? All-purpose tool or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was using a thing that just lets me add an extra cantrip to my list. I just added Eldritch Blast to my spell list because
Ooh.
my fire cantrip
That's
is
a good-
pretty useless right now.
Right.
So,
Okay. I mean, you're shooting cantrips at a dragon. I don't know what you're doing. Whatever. Doesn't
Also,
matter.
now that we're getting a bit farther into its home, should we be a bit more stealthy about things?
We can try.
All right. With that, I'll cast Pass Without a Trace.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What is that?
Nice.
What does that look like when you do that?
I sort of like this purplish smoke goes around us to try and conceal a little bit of our like footsteps and everything.
Awesome. So you cast this spell, and this sort of like purplish smoke sort of like whips around you, just sort of this haze that kind of covers everybody and sort of sweeps away the footprints that you've already left and dampens the sound around you. And you feel a bit more stealthy as you come out of this room. If your intention is to proceed stealthily, then I'm going to need a stealth check from everybody.
No problem.
I thought you said you need a stealth check.
Stealth check, if your intention is to proceed stealthily.
Oh,
I'm gonna try. I'm rolling with disadvantage.
But when you do this,
Oh.
you can add 10 per the
So
passive
that
checks.
would be 31.
So
Okay.
Sweet. So 18
18 total with the
with
the plus
yeah.
10.
Mhm.
Okay. 31 for lyric.
20.
20.
23.
23.
24.
24.
Thank goodness for that plus 10. Oh my
And-
god.
Yeah.
And Grizz.
20.
Um,
Oh no, 20.
28.
28. All right. Okay.
Rogues.
So you all sort of like poke out of this archway, this tunnel that led into the dragon's bath chamber. And which way do you head now? Like I said, you can see the sort of like more well lit sort of like opening further up to the along the tunnel to the left.
We should just keep moving left. It was a circular path, was it not?
It did appear that way, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yep. Let's creep.
Parthos, you're a barbarian.
Yes.
Okay. As I'm strolling, Lyric will follow by. He's taken a liking to Parthos, and he just leans, kind of like hopping along, and then pats you on the shoulder and strums his lute and casts from his lute called Das Lute.
Loot.
Cast protection from energy, and that will be fire.
Oh.
No.
Right.
Less concentration for 1 hour, so
We'll see.
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So you guys come out of this feeling this, haze around you, this something that you're familiar with Seth is doing before. And you see this sort of like larger sort of recessed opening into the stone wall of this cavern a bit further up. And this sort of like, dome-like recession in the stone. What you see is this sort of like burning brazier, just a subtly burning brazier next to a, simple kind of table that is on the side of this large, like metal mirror that is in the wall on the, on the inside of this stone recession. This mirror is about like 15 foot high and like 8 foot wide, and it's very like intricately sort of framed. And again, this like draconic imagery, just like twisting worms and dragon sort of like figures around it. On the table next to the brazier, you see that there are these sort of like 4 kind of like large like beakers with some stuff in them, kind of like solid sort of like matter in there, like a powdery sort of matter in there. And next to these 4 beakers is this sort of note, just like a hastily scrawled like sheet of parchment.
What is written on the parchment?
As you investigate this table with the stuff on it, you can see on the parchment is just this very like hastily written in draconic, but you get from it, it says something akin to 2 components bright in the mirror, green flame leads the way. And you can see that each of these containers, these beakers with stuff in them, has a sort of alchemical symbol. And one of them has a sort of a symbol that you would interpret as like an English like a CO. One of them has something that looks like a T. One of them has a symbol that looks like a FE. And the 4th one has a symbol that looks like a Z, or a Z for all you non-Americans.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, I'm not an alchemist.
Anyone
this
anyone
show.
who thinks they may know anything about this can make a nature or an arcana check.
Oh, lovely. I'll give it a go. Why not? An 11.
11.
Oh, -1. You took a gamble, boy.
Oh. Anyone else?
I'm gonna try. Why not?
Yeah, go for
Just
it.
trying to discern. What
okay.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. 17 for Grizz.
Natural 1 for
Yeah.
Joybane.
I'm just gonna make an intelligence check because I don't want to add my proficiency modifier because
Okay. Yeah, make an intelligence check.
That's still a 21. Cool. Dude, I'm rolling too well on D&D Beyond. I'm probably gonna hop over to Foundry in a second.
All right. No, like roll well.
We need
like
somebody
you're going
to
to
roll
need
well.
it.
Yeah, one of us has to.
Okay.
Balance.
So, Joybane and Zethus, you kind of are looking at this like, I don't like. When did they start adding letters to
FD?
math? Like, what's going on? Like
Yep.
this is
Math
not
is
part of my
math.
purview at all. Griselda, Kellum, you kind of like recognize that these are sort of alchemical components. You remember that there's certain substances, Kellum especially being an artificer, but you remember that certain substances combined together can make other things, especially when you're dealing with metal. And those substances can burn a certain color. Kellum, with your check, you have a feeling that, since you know that this is a brass dragon,
That tonight's gonna be a good night.
yeah, hopefully, you know that since this is a brass dragon and this mirror appears to be something like the scale that Parthos dredged up from the bath, you kind of are trying maybe to make something that is likened to brass. You recognize one of the substances as copper, and you know that copper is a component in making brass, but you forget what is combined with it.
I relay that information to the group and see if anyone else might particularly know.
Now, which one is copper?
Right. Okay. Yeah, that one's copper there with the CO for copper.
CO.
You got it. Yeah. It's the copper inside the beaker. Is it all like one piece, or is it like a bunch of those like tiny little clumps of copper?
It's like little clumps,
Okay.
Almost like a powder sort of substance, and that's true for all of them. There is sort of that like coppery substance, but the other three are sort of like grayish. Some are more like lustrous silver-ish. There's one, the one that's labeled FE, is a more like dull gray, like almost a charcoal color.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like this FE one. It's lovely gray.
You gotta have a better
matches my
favorite
skin.
color, man.
What do you mean?
Okay. What do you think he meant by the green flame leads the way? That seems oddly cryptic for a scribbled note.
Well, something needs to be burning green?
It just sounds like fairy fire to me.
That's
I
what
have an
was
intelligence of 10. I'm like, we have to set green fire everywhere.
Yeah, or maybe not. Okay. Kellum's gonna pour out a tiny bit of the copper and put it on the table, and then I'm gonna roll a d4 to see which one of these other ones I grab.
Sure.
A 4. I'm gonna re-roll another 4. Okay. I'm gonna grab the one that says T, and I'm gonna pour a little bit out and mix it with that copper.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, does anyone have like a really gentle fire, like a fire starting kit? If I shoot this thing, it's gonna get real bad.
I do have a tinderbox, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
you also see there is a lit brazier on the side of the table.
Duh. Yeah.
It's just got a sort of like low burning, like orange red flame.
is there a tool around me that I can see where I could safely pick up this metal and then like light it on fire or bring the fire over to the metal or?
Nope.
Oh.
Do you need a torch? I have one of those as well.
Yeah, we could use a torch. Why the heck not?
Yeah, I give my torch over to Kellum.
Okay.
Since you want to deal with the fire.
I'm a fan of fire. Okay. I'm gonna light the torch in the brazier and then just like get it close, not like so the whole flame is touching the metal, but enough so it's like to see if I can catch it on fire or see what happens to the fire or anything like that.
Sure. You bring this torch over to this sort of like clump of stuff that you've gathered, and as you sort of like as the flame gets close, it touches this sort of like pile, and the pile kind of goes just like a tiny firework, like a the tiniest firework, like a almost like a onion volcano at a hibachi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll and see if I'm totally like want to go catch it.
Yeah. There's no shrimp flying though. But it produces this sort of bluish flame.
Not that one.
I'm completely enthralled with this thing. Like,
you know what, Zethos, let's try your FE. Let's do your FE. I'll take the same sort of little mixture of the copper and the FE and mix it together, and then put the torch in it again.
Yeah. And also as you like light this stuff on fire on the table, who's got the highest passive perception? What's everybody's passive perception?
20.
Passive perception is 16.
Yeah, that's higher than mine.
14.
Mine's 13.
14.
20.
You said 20? Lyric, you notice as he's like doing the stuff on the table, the mirror isn't doing anything. Which is like not a thing that you would really notice, but like it's not doing anything, but you remember him like reading aloud the two components bright in the mirror. So you want to you combine the copper and the Fe?
Yes.
Okay. You still do it on the table.
Yeah, because I have a feeling we're supposed to throw it in the brazier, but I don't want to do that unless I know for sure we're doing the right thing.
Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, you do it again. You pour out a little bit of the copper, a little bit of the, powdery Fe, sort of, dust-like substance. You mix them together and touch the torch to it, and it does that same sort of like firework, but now it's a bright red flame.
Ah, well, seems the FE didn't work.
One left.
COZ, baby.
Okay. Same sort of stuff, and as you touch the flame to it, and it does a more sort of like a puff, but you see a bright green flame.
Alrighty.
You figured it out, Kellum.
So we know the two things that go together. So now the question is, do we just pour them into the brazier? Do we do something with that mirror?
What exactly did the note say?
Two components, bright in the mirror, green flame leads the way.
Well, if it specifically mentions the mirror, I think we should do something with it.
I want to take a really close look at that mirror. See, like, I don't want to waste time casting a spell, but if it gives any sort of vibe of like this is probably a magic mirror, or if there's like something that looks like we're supposed to like, I don't know, like rub the metal on it or anything.
I gotcha. Investigation or Arcana check.
I'm gonna cast guidance on Callum.
Yo, that's huge. Arcana.
Grizz is gonna go over there
Oh.
if she wants to help.
So
Jesus.
it's a natural 20 for 29. I'll add that D4.
It's a natural 20, eh?
Oy.
Didn't need my help. What?
30, a 32. A 32.
32.
Is that it?
For those of you
32.
Boom.
I will also add Flash of Genius to add my intelligence modifier to make it a 37.
Okay, now you're just showing
I'm
off.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Like, I don't know if you know this. If you know, you know, a 30, a DC of 30 is a nearly impossible check. So you just did the impossible. You investigate
smart.
the mirror. You see that it is this sort of like, it is set into this wall. So there's no like behind it. You could see that already. You sort of like look along the sort of intricate sort of filigree and the carving of the frame of this, you know, sort of like feeling all along it. You don't really get a sort of sense of like something needs to be put onto the mirror with a 32 Arcana check. Arcana or investigation? Arcana. With a 32 Arcana check, you remember that there is, you know, you've heard of something like this before. It's a magic mirror. This is obviously a magic mirror. But mirrors are also, you know, they're not always one way. They're two ways. Sometimes they're two ways. And this mirror seems like, with the right combination and something else sort of triggering a, you know, reaction, this mirror will brighten to be almost transparent. And not only transparent, but you could walk through it. But it hasn't happened yet. Nothing you've done has, you know, made that happen. Now with a 32 Arcana check, you know what you have to do. You got to throw it on that brazier.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what you have to do.
I'm gonna throw it on the brazier.
All right. So
I'll
you take it.
I'll take the C, I'll take the Z, and I'll say, mirror, mirror on the wall. Isn't this the greenest shit you've ever seen? And I'll pour the two things into the
Wait, that doesn't rhyme.
Oh, no,
That is a
Rock
great
Man, I
rhyme.
like that rhyme.
Great rhyme.
Incredible.
Very
All right.
nice.
So you kind of like take,
Yeah.
do you just take the beakers or do you take like a handful of each?
You're probably just a handful.
Okay. So you take a handful and you throw the powder on the brazier, and this sort of like, this sort of like very smoky, very just like fireworks of this bright green flame. And the brazier roars up, you know, just as where it was previously just sort of like coal like cinders, and now just, and as you do that, the mirror, the inside of it, brightens to a very fine, very polished brass. And it doesn't stop brightening. It goes from brass to clear to open. Like,
Excuse you,
almost like
I was using
there's
that.
nothing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Your Majesty. We just gotta get going.
I'm
We should
sure
get
we
going.
could find a platter or something that you could use as a mirror later.
Sure.
I pulled that scale that I found, and I flash it in front of her.
Everything's forgotten.
Squirrel.
Kellum's gonna take an empty canister from like the back of one of his legs and open it and grab like a handful of the copper and the Z and seal it just in case there's another quick getaway anywhere, and then he'll put it back on like one of his leg holsters.
Sure. All right. So, this happens. Do you all go through?
I would like to. I'd really like to go through.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yes, I'll start making my way through near the front.
Okay. So who's like what's the marching order here?
kind of hold the center, I guess.
I'll go behind wherever Parthos is.
I'll stay towards the front. Why not?
Okay. So Kellum, Joybane towards the front. Parthos, Sethos.
I said I would be towards the front.
Yeah, I'm
Towards the front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll have a little
I'm-
spearhead.
Probably gonna let. I have a tendency to usher people, usher the park,
Mhm.
like I'm protecting them.
Oh, you're watching
No.
our backs. Yeah, of course.
I just
Lion
keep,
Dad.
yeah, I'll keep nudging you, like, go.
Grizz is gonna just land on Pathos's head. Not ask, just land.
Okay.
I'm used to this.
Perfect.
This
You
is
You
where
are at this
you
point.
are
Yeah.
now the
She has a spot. She's just gonna nestle
yeah.
in.
You are now the
Like-
lion in Wizard of Oz.
right.
Put 'em up.
Put him up. Put him up.
All right.
Oh, roof.
So you each walk through this mirror one by one. Passing through is kind of like that scene in the Matrix where he sticks his fingers in the mirror and pulls back. It's kind of like gives a little bit of resistance, kind of like you're walking through water almost. And you sort of like walk through and push through this sort of like solidus kind of film, and you push through, and you all step into this sort of like vast cavernous room. You know, stalactites and stalagmites line the walls, and there's a huge sort of like opening in this dome-like ceiling. Now the ceiling is about like 50 50 or so feet up, so it's a huge dome, and this opening lets in this warm midday sunlight, and the sunlight shines down in the middle of the room and is reflected off of the brilliant brass scales. Lying there is an immense, ancient brass dragon.
Oh,
We should go back the way we came.
A slight breeze whistles through the rocky chamber, but it's nothing compared to the heavy breaths of the massive creature. And the hot wind pushes and pulls against you in a steady rhythm.
Oh.
For some reason, I just start breathing at the same pace, like just.
Everyone make a perception check.
Look at all those dice.
all
Okay.
those dice. Yeah, you feel them dice.
Top to bottom lyric, what'd you get?
24.
24. Zethus?
25.
25. Parthos?
24.
24. God, you guys are doing well. Kellum?
9.
9.
Not too soon.
Hey,
Oh, how
never
the
mind. I
tables
spoke
turned.
too soon.
The world has been balanced.
Not a wise man, just a smart one.
Yeah. Joybane?
15.
15. Okay. And Griselda?
21.
21.
21.
Kellum
9 plus 10.
and Joybane. Joybane, you got a 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kellum, Joybane, you stand there just struck by the immensity of this creature. You knew that you were coming to fight a dragon, but you didn't know it was going to be this big. And you kind of like don't really know what to do with yourself in this moment. The rest of you, the steadiness of this breathing, and the fact that it has not really reacted to you coming into its sanctum, it's It's not. You think it's sleeping. Now, for the purposes of this, would you all like to take a break now?
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take a 5 to 10 minute break, just get some comfort and have a mild panic attack.
Formula.
So, use the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack, and we'll be right back in about 5 to 10.
Yep. 5-10 minutes.
It's
Stick
been so
around,
nice
folks.
adventuring with everyone.
Oh gosh.
Are we gonna do that?
Are we?
As a chance to beat dragon, never.
Hang on.
What you can do in Foundry is on the fist icon at the top right. There's the initiative tracker. You can just click the D20 by your name. It'll roll initiative for you.
Thank you.
Yes, perfect.
I guess we'll just roll there. Nice. Even worse.
Okay.
Oh.
So, this dragon seems to be sleeping. What do you want? What do you want to do, Joybane? You would be the first to act with Zethus right behind you.
I'm gonna do the cleric thing here and upcast bless for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Which I
Solid.
think that I have to do it at level. Yeah, there's 5 of us,
Okay.
so 3rd level.
Yeah. I believe that 3rd level would get you 5 people, but not yourself.
Oh no, 4th then. Because I want it too.
Yeah, we are 6.
You probably
Okay.
needed more
Yeah.
than I do.
Okay. So you cast Bless. What does it look like when Joybane casts his spell?
He'll take his amulet that he wears around his neck and whisper the prayer in Dwarvish, and this soft blue light will go out and wrap around everyone in the party, and then sort of fade back.
Nice.
Okay. So as this light encompasses you all, it sort of like lingers with a faint glow around you as Bless is cast. Is there anything else that you want to do in this moment?
I am very hesitant to run up to the dragon. Let's see. I think I'll hold my position and just wait,
Okay.
and that'll be my turn.
All right. Zethus, is there anything that you want to do in this moment?
I think I think it might be better if we're gonna attack this thing. We need to split up. We need to attack it from multiple angles. I'm gonna split off to the left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go right here. I think that's 30 feet from there.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's gonna wake the dragon up, but I want to cast Hunter's Mark on the dragon.
Okay.
So that's just gonna roll the way it is.
It's just going to.
Yeah.
But that's something that you can add to each
Yeah.
of your damage rolls.
And then,
So when you cast the Hunter's Mark, is it a similar like purplish smoke, or is there a different sort of effect?
yeah, similar, just like a little wisp of purple smoke around it.
Okay. So this little wisp of purple smoke has marked this giant creature as your hunter's prey. And as you move, and as these spells are cast, the dragon stirs. What is this? What's going on? And his eyes sort of like slowly open, and its head rises, and it blearily regards you all as like, oh, adventurers again. Didn't you read the sign on the door? Did that meddlesome king send some more foolhardy mercenaries on an ill-advised and ill-informed quest to wrest my knowledge from me? And he's sort of like, I've had just about enough of all of you. And he sort of like goes on this sort of diatribe of like, he doesn't like to have people in his space. He, like, just like he's not doing anything. He's just trying to keep to himself. And as he sort of like speaks in this sort of like low rumbling tone, and this sort of like smoke kind of billows out from his mouth, and everything like that. And he
Why do I feel like I'm being lectured by my grandpa?
and there's sort of like,
Get
sort
off
of like
my
smoke
lawn.
billows
Right.
out from his mouth and just sort of like just fills this space in front of where he's talking towards all of you. And as he's just droning on and on and on, this smoke all surrounds you, and I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw.
Of course you do.
Thank the dice.
Ah, nice.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Ooh, love that. Love to see that.
Is that everybody? Okay. Wonderful. Why are we rolling so many times? Anyway, that's okay. So I could see what you all rolled. So as this is happening, all of you, except for Zethus and Kellum, he is so boring. He is droning on and on like this, and he's so boring, and you cannot help but to fall asleep.
Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
And seeing that he has bored you all to sleep, with the exception of two, goes, oh, sorry, I have a tendency to ramble. Here, come on, let's wake up. And he's sort of like, and just sort of like gently nudges the sleeping ones awake. And as he's
Just 5 more minutes, Ma.
and as he does that, it's just like, okay, why are you all here? The king sent you, did he? Did he say I was hoarding treasure or something like that?
Actually, yes. The king did send us, and he did want us to collect the treasure that that he alleges you are hoarding. But I'm sorry, just you're a little bit intimidating.
And very well spoken.
Well, yes, I am an ancient dragon. I suppose that would be intimidating, and I've had a lot of time to work on my manners. But you all
We should
have
have
come
called
in
ahead.
here.
Our apologies.
And you pass through the mirror, so you seem capable. But let me tell you something. First, the king, he keeps sending people to me to try and get my knowledge. But if you've been in my house, so to speak, have you found any gold, any treasure, anything like that?
Well, we
And as
did find the
he's-
bathroom.
Yes, that
Yes.
bathroom was very impressive.
But I do think you need a couple of the candles from the bathtub in the bathroom itself.
Oh, I will make a note. I guess I should apologize, but you were breaking into my house
Yes,
and
again,
commenting
our
on my
apologies. Our
decor.
apologies.
So, but no, there's no gold in here. And as he sort of says this, you kind of like look around, and with your passive perception, like amongst the stalactites and everything around here, this inner sanctum of a dragon's lair, you expect to find like piles of gold and treasure and art pieces and all that sort of like typical shit. There is not piles of gold. What there are piles of is books. You see, my treasure is actually knowledge.
Oh.
I see.
Oh.
And that king, that meddlesome ingrate, he is the real dragon, or what you would expect a dragon to be. He is vain, he is greedy, he hoards his treasure and material wealth away from his subjects. Or did you not notice the vast squalor in Galvaran?
I know,
And as
King's a
he's-
dick.
And as he
Totally.
says this, you kind of remember your interaction with the king. It's just like he is very dickish. He's kind of dickish, very reclusive, and also as you're like, you know, in your previous adventures, you did notice like there is a huge wealth gap within the kingdom. Like most people live in squalor. Most people are very poor living conditions.
Well, now let's not knock vanity. But you know the rest of the rest of it is bad. Yeah, you do have a point there.
Insight check.
Insight? Yeah,
Dragon?
go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget bless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Please use that.
Here, let me hit that up. Hey, 4.
All right, what'd you get?
14 total.
14 total. He's an ancient dragon. He's generally hard to read, but you do get an air of like sincerity from him. Also with a 14 insight check, you know, again, that same sort of memory of like, you know, just sort of the conditions in the kingdom are brought to mind.
I just squawk back. Ah, checks out.
And
Super
he
Yeah, I got
kind of
26.
I'm sorry, 26 insight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same sort of stuff. He's being honest, being sincere, and that insight check can also like apply to when you last talked to the king. He seemed very cagey, and like, you know, kind of like he had his own motives for this. But you know, you notice the wealth gap. You notice that like him and his like counselors live very well, but everyone else is poor. Go ahead,
So-
Kellen.
Well, finish your thing first, because I'm gonna speak with our gracious host here.
Yeah. He sort of continues just like, our Marion is consumed with greed, not only for gold, but also for power. And that is why he sends you lot to me over and over again, hoping that one might be so lucky as to fell me and escape with my treasure. But his knowledge that I keep, a vast wealth of magical knowledge of all sorts, and that is why that troublesome tyrant, that is what he desires. He wants to become a lich, so he can rule forever.
Oh, that would be problematic.
That's a big problem for me.
I'm sorry, but
That's
I'm
just
sorry.
the opposite of vanity
was your
right there.
name? What was your name?
Oh, I am known as Morofstra.
Morofstra. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Oh,
Yes.
I suppose if we're doing
generalities now, niceties now. It is kind of nice to meet you. I'm yet
Sorry, we broke
undecided.
into your
I
house.
don't know if you're going to attack me, but hear me out. You see, I do what I can to keep his efforts at bay, and I sink those ships carrying powerful artifacts from all around the world so he cannot complete his ritual.
So King aside, Marofstra, I guess I'm just wondering your philosophy on the sharing of knowledge, because I mean, you have a vast amount of knowledge here. I'm a seeker of knowledge, but I learned my knowledge from people willing to share what they know and not keep it to themselves. I guess I'm just wondering, is that the end goal, just to have all this knowledge, and not like teach anybody or not do anything about it, just to keep it away from other people that would...
Oh, you mean for me?
Sure.
No, I mean, I've lived for over 1,000 years. I have had a lot of time to gather all of this knowledge, and sure, I'll share it with people who come to me humbly seeking it. The king does not. He sends people to kill me, and that's not very nice. But if you want to take, part of my, my hoard of knowledge, then sure, I will share it with you. But it may take you a while, being human as you are. I do not know how long you will live, but I suspect it's not long enough to get through all of it.
Yeah, no, I'd be lucky to get like 65, 70 more years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's still very kind of you, sir. Thanks.
Oh yes, but yes. That aside, look, you do have some manners. Again, I can forgive you breaking into my house because you did not know that this was the situation.
So the door was like kind of open. You should probably get some locks for that.
Yes.
Unless you like wanting the ventilation, which makes sense.
Oh, I mean, the ventilation is fine, but I do have a huge hole in my ceiling, which I fly out of. So.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of whisper up to Grizz, we fight or no?
I don't think so. I don't think so, big guy. I think it's seeming like a no. I think maybe we could fight the king, though. He's seeming like a bad guy. I mean, if we're feeling particularly bloodthirsty.
I am deeply conflicted right now.
And I say to the dragon, we have job to do. We have bills to pay. What do you suggest?
I mean,
I just want to ask us one thing. Did we ever ask what the payment was from the king on this quest? He sort of just gave us the mission.
He did inform you that you would be generously compensated.
Oh.
He didn't really go into details about.
See, when I go into a deal, I usually ask for the specifics. So,
as a voice actor
I
should.
remember him being rather cagey.
Commensurate upon experience.
well,
I'll,
I mean,
Lyric will go up to him,
yeah.
approach the dragon. Just mosey on up.
Mm-hmm.
oh, not again.
Sing your beautiful song, Lyric.
Yeah. Was he saying anything? I didn't want to interrupt that. He'll just start approaching.
He was going to, like, you can do this as, like, Parthos is asking his question, and Zethus, like, pose the question to the group.
Sure. I'll just go up to him and like put up my feather arm and just try to pet him.
Being as small as you are and being as big as he is, you kind of like get, like, you kind of like petting a toad.
Oh yeah. How's that?
His head is about as big as you.
Mm-hmm.
Like height wise.
well, adventurers, if it is additional gold that you seek, Perhaps you can take it from our Marion, should you see fit to confront him. You do seem very capable, and I am capable of putting you on his doorstep, as he has put you on mine, but a great deal swifter.
Fly!
You don't want to join us in a little bit of king slaying?
Unfortunately, I must not leave here. I fear that should I leave, that is the time that he would strike, and my knowledge would be forfeit, so I must stay to protect it.
Ah,
That
fly.
tracks. Yeah.
Fly!
If the king's planning to become
Hey.
a lich, I think
I'm
that-
We're
always
gonna
down
ride
for
the
some
dragon.
king slaying.
The dragon. We're gonna ride a dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with overthrowing some tyranny, and Kellen pulls his bandana over his face, and he has his gun, and he's like, "Yeah."
Sneaky style.
I pull the hood of my cloak up and I'm like, all right, let's kill a king.
I doubt the king is immune to my fire attacks.
I'm sorry, Joybane, were you saying something?
Oh, I
Did you
was,
get
I was,
interrupted?
I was voting to go deal with
Oh.
the king.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of between our options here. That'd be our best one. I mean, if
Isn't
we're
that positive?
Side eye the gigantic dragon. Yeah, I think so. I just
hard pass on that. Hard pass.
Okay.
Dear Patrick Rothfuss, the King Killer Chronicles Part 3 has just been released.
It's never coming. Finish the book, Rothfuss. Finish the book.
Okay, Marostra, I guess we have a deal.
It is a good thing that you are doing. I hope that you will prevail for the good of Galvaron and for the good of yourselves. And you have the option to just walk away, but you are noble heroes, I can tell. Very polite after breaking into someone's house, but I'll drop it. I'm not bitter at all. But gather round. I will send you to him. I cannot fly you, but I can do something better. I'm sorry, my little winged friend. Maybe
Lyrica,
next time.
I'll fly you around a little bit later. How's that?
Fly!
Oh,
A little later.
Okay. So, as you kind of gather together, he takes a massive claw and he draws a circle in the dirt around you, just like. And as he does, and as he completes the circle, it sort of like alights with this like arcane sort of power. And it's just like, good luck.
I'll call ahead next time to study.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
That's funny.
we'll just
You
slide
might
into
need
your
to turn
DMs
into-
then, shall we?
Bye. And as he says bye, you sort of like all feel this like rush of wind all around you. And this sort of like kind of feel like your body and your very spirit is being stretched and sucked through the void as you are teleported out. And that same sort of like sensation, that disorientating sensation of just being like thrown wholly across space and time. And it dissipates as you land and all of your feet touch stone, but like marble stone, cold, not warm like the dragon's lair. And you feel that you are in a familiar setting, the throne room, where you had your audience with the king not long ago. And as you get your bearings, as this experience is not as known to you as it might have been, there's a voice that bounces off those marble walls. This is a sort of like, you kind of see blurry-eyed this sort of like large rectangular room.
Blurry eyes.
And you come in there, and this voice bounces off the walls as you get your bearings. It seems that metal-thumbed dragon has convinced you half-witted, headstrong adventurers to change your allegiance. And as that, yeah, a little bit. And as that voice like rings out, like your vision clarifies on this room, this marble stone floor with marble walls and pillars. And go ahead and put you all in there like you were.
That was a hell of a thing.
Yeah. And
Well, I think we made a new friend.
I want to learn from him.
Yes.
I'm sure we could go back.
Then.
He was so.
He definitely
so
needs a
shiny.
library.
He was so shiny.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. And you see
Also,
this.
he didn't kill us, which was nice.
Yeah. You see this room, and the voice continues as your vision clarifies, and you see the king up on his throne, his sort of like marble plinth, about 10 to 15 up a flight, up some stairs, and his guards there just standing statuesque next to this, next to this platform. And the king, you remember, he is he's elfin. He's got the long elven ears and okay.
Help me.
Okay.
Yeah, I also can't see too much.
Yeah, we can probably fix that. Yeah. Just give me a second, but I'll continue with that. He's got the elven ears, but he looks old, and from what you experienced with elves, to look old as an elf means that he's got hundreds of years behind him. And he just sort of has this like sagging, sallow skin and this sort of like long, greasy black hair with like streaks of silver in it. He's very finely dressed in his silk and velvet robes and everything. But his voice continues to call out. It's just like, so what did he say? He said that I'm the real evil, that I hoard my wealth and damn my people to a life of squalor, that I desire knowledge and power to live forever. Of course I do. You all, more than anyone else, should know what it's like beyond the walls of this kingdom. The world is a roiling sea of chaos and madness that chews up and spits out common people. I keep my people safe. I give them stability. You have faced the dangers of the wider world and triumphed over them, but there are few as powerful as you. Yet you know not real power, to have the will of the masses at your beck and call, to sway them to any action you see fit. And they love you for it, worship you. Now, if you insist on being defiant, if you'll not play your part, if you will not bend, I will break you myself. I will find new adventurers to do my bidding, and I will sweep any memory of you from the history book. I'm going to give you guys some light here, but I need you all, some light. Boom jams.
Word.
Boom jams. And
Are you gonna find yourself a speech therapist too, or is that just gonna?
I mean, I was hoping
Yes.
we could also discuss payment. We didn't get the specifics earlier.
Yeah.
You just said a generous amount of gold. Now, what do you consider generous?
I need
Probably
you
not
all to roll
enough.
initiative.
Lyric will call back to him and just say, I will break you myself.
Yo!
We're all rolling initiative.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Much better.
Yeah, baby.
That's better.
Nice.
Okay. So the initiative is up, and Lyric, you call out
repeating his words back to him in that mocking tone of yours, and you have the initiative. What would you like to do?
I am going to cast blindness on him.
Okay.
DC 16. Let me look into that. What exactly it is, though? It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Blindness. All right. Zethus, you are on deck. The king. Come on, y'all. Can I get him? Thank you.
Get him.
And that is 30 feet. So I'm going to have to move up. 10, 15, 20. Let me see here.
Okay.
Yep, that's perfect.
All right. Constitution saving throw coming up. Okay. What's your DC?
16.
16. Okay. And you cast this spell, and what does it look like when you cast this spell?
So as Lyric flips out the lute, he just strums a chord, and out from his cloak like pours this like dark smoke that takes the form of a whole bunch of little ravens, and they all swarm in around him and cause this like black cloud of like shadowy ravens.
All right. So
Love
as
it.
this cloak of ravens swirl out from you and go to swirl around his head, he just takes his hand and goes and sort of brushes them off. It's just like, you will need more than that.
You're right, Dick.
He's a counter speller.
I should also mention, sorry, this is my fault, a little retroactive retcon thing. As he says that he will sweep you from the memory of history, he sweeps his hand, and along the back wall, you see this shimmering field, this sort of like chromatic, like phantasmagorical, just shimmering field appear along the back wall behind you. You see, violet and blue and green and yellow and orange and red. This prismatic wall sheds a bright, almost blinding light out from this. It's just like, you will have no escape. And a prismatic wall blocks the way out.
Okay. Then I'm going to spend the last of my movement to... Oops, that's measurement. Go here.
Okay. All right. That is your turn, Lyric. Zethus, you are up, and Kellum is on deck.
Okay. I want to move off to the left here, behind that pillar. So that's my movement. And I think would I still be able to hit the king from here, or would I just have the knight in vision?
You would be able to hit the king. You should, if you, well, let's see. You would still be able to hit him. This chamber is lit. It's
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, it's
checking
pretty
line
dope.
of sight wise.
yeah.
It's pretty dank.
So I'm
yeah.
gonna attack with my longbow, shoot an arrow at the king.
Okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead and.
Oh, nat 20 on the first.
All right.
What?
Awesome.
Okay. So the first attack,
Well, hold on. How much?
nat 20. That would be 33 to
Okay.
hit.
All right. 33 to hit. Perfect. So let me just check something real quick here.
Just barely hits.
Okay.
We should have fought the dragon.
The dragon was so nice.
He was.
Okay, so you unleash your bow, and the arrow flies right, seems like it's going right in between his eyes, and as it impacts, a version of himself goes.
Okay.
Oh.
That was rude. And
Second shot.
second shot, I'm gonna take at that knight right next to him. That was right next to him since disappeared.
So the one on the right or the left?
The right.
On the right. Okay.
That would be a 30 to hit.
Oof.
Oh yes, that definitely hits.
Okay. And 13 damage.
13.
And I'll also use Dreadful Strikes, which adds 1d4 psychic damage. And it's only a 1.
13, 14 damage. All right. So your first shot dissipates an image of the king, while the second shot you kind of like, maybe not, and go for one of his guards, and it slips in under his armor as he takes the impact. Anything else with your turn there?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Perfect. Kellum, you are up.
How high is the ceiling here?
The ceiling here is about it's about like 20 feet high.
Okay, awesome. So Kellum is going to kind of reach in between like his back and his backpack, and pull out like this curvish chunk of wood, and he'll pull his one-purpose tool from his firearm and draw some runes on it, and it transforms very quickly into an arcane cannon. I'm going to use the Force Ballista one, and I'll place it like. Do I have a thing for that in Foundry? I don't know.
I don't think so.
That's okay. I put it in like this corner right next to me here.
Okay.
And then after creating that as my action, I'm going to use my movement to the runes on my boots light up and the wings grow bigger, and I'll use my winged boots to fly myself just kind of like right up above Lyric, off to the side here above Lyric by the same pillar. And then as my bonus action, I will move my Force Ballista from this little area here, 15 feet. We'll just go 10 feet there, and I will launch a Force Ballista attack against the knight on my right side of that throne. So,
Okay.
I don't think that's. Artificers are so weird, and they have so much stuff that not all of it is in Foundry. Give me a second.
Sure.
It's gonna be a D20 plus 9. 16. Well, plus 9, so 25.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah.
Sweet. So that's 3d8 force damage.
Ooh, good lord.
Nice.
That is 17 points of force damage to that guy. And that's my turn.
All right.
Oh, and he's also
So-
pushed 5 feet away from the cannon.
Okay, so he gets pushed back here as he takes this hit, and you is it like a construction thing? This cannon that you just sort of like whip out and it goes choo 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 choo.
Yeah, the runes just light up. It's a small little ballista on 4 little like spider-looking legs, and the runes light up and just shoot just a concentrated blast of force into his chest that just kind of knocks him back.
You toss this thing out and it goes and goes, and it hits him square in the chest as he's knocked back from the blast of it. And yeah, he's like, you know, from that you're seeing like cracks in his armor, and he's sort of like, all, you know, kind of like heaving a little bit there. Anything else with your turn? That was pretty
that'll be my turn.
Okay, awesome. Joybane, you are up, and Parthos, you're on deck.
Right, I am. Since I was raised by dwarves, I'm not one to shy away. He's going to charge. Let's see, 30 feet straight up, and turning toward the king and this knight to his left, the king's left. I'm going to cast Thunderwave and angle it to catch them both in it.
Okay. Perfect.
It's Constitution saving throws.
Okay, so Constitution saving throw.
DC is 15.
Okay, 15. Alrighty, so. Nope. Saves. Alright. So, what does it look like when you release this spell?
Again, it's that light blue, but like the concussion of a hammer sort of hitting, like in a dwarven forge, just like striking the ground and then waving out to catch both of them.
Alright. So, this light blue, sort of like mystical hammer apparates before you. Boom! Rings out kind of like a hammer striking a giant anvil, and this wave of force pushes towards them, and they both are, you know, feel the full brunt of it. How much damage?
2d8. Let me try it. Okay. And they're pushed back 10 feet.
Okay, so 7 for each of them. You see this knight here with his sort of like ragged breaths and cracked armor, kind of like this is a brazier that he was standing in front of, and kind of goes like ass over tea kettle over the brazier with the force of your blast. The king is also pushed back, but just to like the edge of his raised dais. But you can see, you know, that sort of like that concussive force hit them both squarely there. As you do that, the king is going to use a legendary action. And it's just like, this is enough already. You are getting on my nerves. And he's going to fire just point at you, Joybane, and a beam of fire shoots out towards you. And it does a firebolt.
Is that a roll for him to attack?
Yes.
I'm gonna use cutting words.
Okay.
And just
So as he says this and points, and you, so what's the roll for cutting words? It's your inspiration, I believe.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So that's 1 off, and it is as a reaction when the creature seems to succeed. What's the second Oh, damn it. Oh, it's a
what's your
D10.
bardic inspiration?
Yep, D10. Sorry.
Roll a D10 and I'll subtract it from the roll.
9.
9. All right.
Oof.
So Joybane does a 16 hit.
That will miss.
All right. So as he calls, as Lyric calls out as the king is saying this threatening thing, he just sort of goes, "What?" and just whizzes right by you as he shoots this off at you. But that is anything else with your turn?
Yeah, I have a bonus action. I'm going to cast Holy Weapon on my Warhammer.
Okay. I don't know if you can cast 2 spells in the same
that is
turn.
entirely your call, because I can hold that off till next time.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
After
Right
seeing
now,
the
I'm
damage?
yeah,
Wait.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Then
Um,
I will just hiss at him in Infernal and
Nice.
and hold my.
Awesome.
That'll be it.
Okay, so that's your turn. Parthos, you're up.
Okay. First thing I do, I rage.
Mhm.
I'm gonna move 15 feet here. I have a speed of 45.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start by moving 15 feet here. And then that gives me plenty of, so I have the charger feet. So if I
Mhm.
move at least 10 feet in a straight line, I don't know if I can do that because I took my bonus action to rage.
Yes.
So I can't, never mind. I'm not going to do the charger thing, but I am going to run at this guy
Okay.
and I am going to swing at him with my battle axe.
All right. Swing away.
So, let's see here. So that would be 18 to hit.
That just hits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and
Go ahead and swing twice, and then we'll do the damage.
Oh, okay, swing twice. Okay. Second one is a 22 to hit.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So first one is so I'm swinging two-handed.
Two-handed. Yep.
So that's 11 points, but I'm raging, so I get another 3.
Okay.
Unless Foundry calculates the 3 into that.
I don't think it does.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do.
So 14 total with the first one.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it. I don't know what that just was.
Yeah.
So 14 with the first one,
Mhm.
and 9 with the second one.
All right. 15 and 9. Okay.
And I think that's it for my turn.
Okay. What does it look like when Parthos rages?
So when he rages, he actually, you see a little bit of crackling of blue lightning energy start to surround him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like dancing across his ripped, muscular body.
Mhm.
And so, and he is very fast. I mean, he can move very quickly. He moves at a speed that betrays his size and beauty. And so he's just crackling with this blue lightning energy when he rages.
Okay. All right. And does that have any additional effect for him?
Not right now. As a bonus action, so I can't use it.
Right.
I have to use it when I rage, or
Okay.
I can use it as a bonus action every turn. But as a bonus action, I can actually use my storm aura to do like damage around me, do lightning damage around me.
All right. So you've got this sort of like Dragon Ball Z, like crackling
Right.
lightning all around you as you rush up.
His mane goes straight up.
Yeah. Like you know, got some static electricity
Saiyan.
all around you, and you just rush up in your rage with your battle axe against this one guard. That's your turn now, Grizz. It is your turn.
Okie dokie. I would like to fly over to. I was
Mhm.
trying to measure. Right around there. Right here. And then I want to shoot off some magic missile at the first knight, the one who is like pushed back a little bit to the king's left.
Sure.
I want to hit him with all of those.
All right. Are you just casting it at first level?
Yeah.
Okay. So that just automatically hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Let me see if I can roll this correctly. Okay. So 5. And then. And then 2, and then 3. Oh, no, wait. 3 and then 4.
Okay.
And then I want to take my bonus action and hide.
Okay. So what's the total? 5, 4, and 3?
12.
12. Okay. At that night, 12. All right. And what does it look like when you cast this magic missile?
It looks like a coppery little, almost like little leaves, almost like little fall leaves, just like, but much faster, with lots of sparkles, just like a lot of sparkles. And when they hit, there's kind of like a tiny little, like a firework. The word I'm thinking of.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you just and they impact this knight, and you see now that like some are going through the armor, and as it hits him, he actually is struggling to get up and just coughs out some blood, and he's looking really hurt. So you want to use the bonus action to hide? Are you going behind this pillar?
Yes, yeah, I think that would.
Okay. Okay. So once you do that, it is now their turn. The knight that you shot gets up very weakly, but is going to it cannot see you, but it can see other people that have like sort of hit it, and is going to take out a crossbow from off of his back and sort of weakly just aim it down his sights at Joybane. But just cannot cannot even like string it before it just goes off and doesn't find purchase on you. This knight over here, Parthos, that you are engaged with, is going to take some great sword swings at you.
Yes, bring it.
Okay, so a 22 and a natural 20.
I mean, kind of.
Darn.
Yeah, and I'm using Foundry dice, so we can't. But so the first one will deal you 9 points of damage. You are raging, so that is reduced by half to 4.
Okay.
And the second one is 17 points of damage, halved to 8. You know, and he just sort of like, and as he does this, he kind of maneuvers around you, still measuring. He maneuvers around you to be here, so he can kind of like, you know, close the distance and get kind of like closer to Zethus. And this knight will go over here on his turn after he weakly misses and go up to, you know, closer to get to Joybane over here. The king now. Steps down off of his sort of plinth and let's see what can he do. So he is going to look at you. Actually, he's going to look at Parthos as being this big sort of hulking, like storm, like lightning aura person there. And he's going to just like, you think that you have a good handle on lightning? Let me show you what I can do. And this streak of lightning streaks out at you. And yeah, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
You need me to make a dexterity saving throw? I
Yes,
think so
We still have bless on.
when I'm
you do.
We do.
Yeah.
where is it? So
And you have temporary hit points from the speech.
They're gone by now.
yeah, I was gonna say those are gone.
That lasts an hour.
It
Yeah,
does
but
last an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
but I
Um,
took damage, so
Oh yeah. They're
Ah.
gone.
I was gonna say where is it?
I think
have-
you have advantage. You're
Yeah, so I can see him doing this, right?
yeah, you can see
'cause-
him doing this.
Okay, because I have danger sense, which gives me advantage on dex saving throws.
Yeah, and as
So-
this lightning streaks out towards Parthos, it also arcs, abruptly changes direction, comes for Joybane, and as it sort of goes in their direction, streaks towards Zethus.
Okay,
So I need
And-
you all to make dexterity saving
and,
throws.
Wow.
and I also
Okay.
because of my storm,
Mhm.
because of my storm aura, I have storm soul, which gives me resistance to lightning.
And I'm going
Perfect.
to use my shield master reaction, which I'll have to look at again because it's new to me.
Should
Yeah,
I roll
my
that again?
My shield
What
master
did you roll?
evasion.
Wait,
I rolled a 17, but that was I only did one roll. I didn't roll twice.
okay, roll again.
Yeah, happy
So-
now.
22.
I rolled a 17.
Okay, 17. Joybane,
Yes.
what did you get?
15.
15. And Zethus?
22.
22.
Nice.
So Parthos and Zethus, you each, as this lightning erupts from his hand and courses first into Parthos and then into Joybane and then into Zethus, you both sort of like leap out of the way before it can impact you fully, and you take 24 points of lightning damage.
So
Jo-
I'm gonna use my reaction on this. I'm gonna yell like a word of warning or something along those lines to Joybane. I'm gonna use Flash of Genius to
Mhm.
let Joybane add 5 to that saving throw.
Ah, thank you.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, you call out this word. Like, what do you say to call out this word of warning?
Look out, duck left.
All right. So you call that out, and that gives you just enough instinct, Joybane, to do as he says and duck. You also take 24 points of lightning damage.
Except I have the shield master feat, and I can use that to take no damage if I succeed on the saving throw.
So you,
Oof.
all right. So
Roll left and raise the shield.
Yep, you roll, raise the shield, the lightning bounces off of it, but acts as a sort of like conduit directing it towards Zethus as it streaks towards him.
Keeping
no
that cleric
fault
alive.
of your own. That's just how the spell works.
It's fine.
Yeah. So,
And then
that's
the 24 that I take is halved because I have resistance to lightning.
yes.
All right. So I take 12.
Damn. Okay, that was not as impactful. Oh, I hate this. Okay.
It's all right. I took 24.
It's like they're level 10.
Yeah. All right. So that's what he does, and we're back to the top of the order, which is Lyric.
Okay. Does he? He is. Where is he? Is he? Like in this
he
area?
is.
Let me move. I'm
Sorry,
just gonna
he's
move
right
a second.
here.
Okay. Hang on a second. What is? Okay. What is this?
Oh, this guy is. This is his. Kellum's cannon.
It's my force ballista.
Ah,
It's all good.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Then I'm gonna step out so I can see him. Does he look like he's taken any damage? Because I haven't.
He took a little bit from Jorvain's Thunder Wave,
Okay.
but he doesn't look damaged. Like, he doesn't look like hurt at all.
Okay. All right. Then I am going to. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna cast blindness and deafness. See if I can blind the bastard. Again.
Okay. All right. You go to cast this spell, and as you start to do it, his head sort of whips towards you and goes, "No," and he counterspells you.
I'm going. Hang on. I'm
Bad
going
bard.
to counterspell his counterspell
Yes.
because
All right.
bard.
Nay
so
the nay.
Yeah, go ahead and
maybe it's worth it. I don't know.
you know in this way you're make a
No,
a
I
charisma-
can't do that, right? Because I'm
No?
I'm casting a spell. I can't cast
Yeah.
two spells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
fuck
yeah.
that. I'm not gonna.
cast two spells in the same
Oh,
time.
Whoops.
damn.
Never
Someone
mind. It
else could
sounded fun.
counter his counter spell.
I don't have. We don't have counter spells.
No.
Sorry.
Well, I gave away my
I got
tricks.
arrows.
I have a
Okay.
winning smile.
Words out of the bag. Words out of the bag.
Distracting with
Just
my
pretend
smile.
I didn't say that. I don't have counter spell.
So he just like these ravens start to swirl around you again. And he's just like, no, not again, and they.
Okay. Then going to duck back in and go around. Hang on, I gotta go around this thing. Bonus action, inspire, Joybane, and just strum the lute and call out, that thing.
Thanks, Lyric.
You can do it.
What is that at this level?
D10.
D10. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So you do that. That's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he still is staring you down as you sort of like try to duck back behind here. And he's going to be like, "What a nuisance!" Fire a firebolt at you.
At me?
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah. mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I was debating on like whether or not I want to use cutting words again, but
mm-hmm.
yeah.
So let's see. this firebolt shrieks out and just hits you for 21 fire damage.
Oof.
Okay.
Ouch.
Alrighty. Ow!
That is your turn. Zethus, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to step out just from behind the pillar, and I'm gonna bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the knight that I shot earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to attack that knight with my longbow.
Okay, go for it.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does not hit. He's even in his weakened state, he manages to pick up his shield enough to, and
Okay.
to reflect your arrow off.
And I'll take my second attack. Same knight.
Yep.
29 to hit.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay. So...
Don't even roll damage. He had 2 HP left.
Okay.
Just tell me, where do you hit him?
He has like a little slat in the
Yeah.
his helmet. I want to just right through the slat.
Oh yeah, that meme of the knight with the arrow going into his visor, just and he just crumples onto the ground.
And since he did go to 0, I want to. Oh wait, no, I have to do that for next turn.
Oh shit, we lost
Yeah,
somebody.
you can
To
move your
move
hunter's mark.
mark.
Yeah, on bonus action your next turn.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to do?
The streams. We just lost Joybane.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'm since I only used 5 feet of movement. I'm gonna step back in behind the pillar, just behind me.
Okay.
We'll just have to deal with how it looks on stream for now. See if she can come back.
Sure. All right. So, at the end of your turn, he's still sort of focused in your direction, Lyric, and knows that there are people like around that pillar. And he's going to use 2 legendary actions to cast a spell. And he holds his hand up in this sort of like gathering gathering light blue, sort of like incredibly cold energy gathers in his hand. Without his fallen guard is no object now, stretches out his hand towards you as a blast, a cone of cold fires in your direction, and I need you all to make a Constitution saving.
Counter spell. Now can I do it?
It's been your turn. Yeah, you can counter spell this.
Reaction?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a charisma check. Just to
Me?
roll a d20, add your charisma modifier.
Me? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Unless
Did
you
you
want
say-
to cast this at a higher level.
Well, I'm casting it. Oh, I got a lot of slots. Okay, I'll cast it at 4th level.
Okay. Still make the charisma check there.
Okay. Alright, sorry. So sorry.
No worries. Go for it.
That's a high level spell.
Did you say we all need to make a Constitution saving throw?
Hey!
Pew, pew, pew.
So you don't need to make a Constitution saving throw
Because
Lyric, how do you counter the spell?
It's almost identical to blindness, deafness, where just strums a really, really bad, like flat chord, and these you just see from his cloak this cloud of ravens that swarm in and just swarm around his hand, and whatever he's doing, they all just kind of and like just fade into nothing.
All right. So at that, it's just like these ravens sort of swirl around as these gathering this energy. in his hand, and before he can release it, just fizzles. Okay. So I believe that was Zethus's turn. Kellum, it's your turn.
Yes.
Here. This is from Joybane. As she's trying to get back in.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna fly a little bit higher and get back here to the point where I'm like 15, 20-ish feet in the air, and they're really clustered together. So Kellum is going to pull a licorice root canister from his belt and load it into his arcane firearm. He'll aim it at Parthos and say, "Here comes a dope shot, big guy," and I'll shoot my licorice root canister at Parthos and cast haste on him.
Awesome. So this Parthos, this hits into you, and as it does, your sort of like pupils dilate and the world slows down around you, and you feel this sort of like surge, this burst of adrenaline. You are currently moving faster than everybody around you.
Okay.
So what are the haste spell? Gives you extra AC, I think.
Yep, it's +2 to AC, advantage on dex saves, which you already have for stuff you can see, but now it's for everything. You have an additional action on your turn, which can be used to make one weapon attack, to dash, disengage, hide, or use an action.
So now I get 3 attacks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh, mama. Oh, mama.
Oh, mama. Oh, my God.
Mama.
So that's my action. I'm going to stay flying like 15 feet in the air just because clustering up has not gone well for us as of yet. And then my force ballista is going to move. I can't move it. It's gonna.
Where's it going to go?
Like one of these two. Yeah, one of those two squares back there, and then it's going to take a pot. That's a clearer line. So a pot shot at this knight here.
Sure.
So
Go for it.
Attack for that. That is a 17 to hit.
17. As this thing shoots out, he raises his shield and boom, just bats the shot away.
Damn. Okay. And that's my turn.
Okay. All right. It is Joybane's turn. But fortunately, they were having some technical issues, but they gave some instructions to cast a magic weapon and to go to town on the king here.
Yep, and they also have inspiration if needed.
They do. So, Joybane, if you're out there, if you're listening, I'm sorry if I miss magic weapon, right?
Or was it radiant weapon?
I think it was holy weapon.
Yeah, holy weapon. That's
bonus
the one.
Action, cast magic weapon on his warhammer and go hit the mage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, they do that, and okay. As they go to like swing this like hammer that's now glowing with this radiant light, the king sort of like backs up and raises his hand to bring up this shield, and the hammer ricochets off of the shield, off of this arcane shield that the king places up before him. So fortunately, it will not hit. Again, sorry, Joybane, that you're not here to do it yourself. Hopefully we'll get you back in here before the end. But that is Joybane's turn, and it is Parthos.
Oh, you better believe it's my turn. Yes. So with my Storm Aura, I'm going to use my bonus action to take the lightning that's within me, and then also some of the lightning that I took from the king, and I'm going to direct it at this knight that's in front of me. So I'm going to hit him for 2d6. He's got to make a Dex save of DC 15.
Okay. Okay, he does not make it.
Okay. So he takes 6 points of lightning damage.
Okay. All right, you unleash this lightning aura in his direction, and sort of like courses through his metal armor, and you are still hasted. So was that a bonus action?
Yes, that was a bonus action.
All right, now
So-
you have
3 attacks.
Oh,
yes.
3 actions. Okay,
I
so I'm
can-
going to hit him. Come across. What is that? That's horrible. 8. My first swing is an 8.
Are you using your battle axe?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I hit the rage one, so never mind. Let me try that again.
Okay.
Well, if you add the 9, so really that would be a 17.
17. He again brings up his shield, just sort of like as a reflexive thing, and
Okay. So we'll just try it again. Oh, come on. It's like 18-4. No, it's a 4. 13. God, I'm just swinging and missing, but I got one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on,
Hey,
big
there
whammy.
we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'll
okay.
definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. Oof. All right. So your lightning aura strikes him and kind of like locks him up a little bit. It just like the armor kind of like retracts into itself as it makes this defensive sort of shell. And 2 of your attacks, you can't break through, and you get angrier with each time that you can't break through, and then finally bring the battle axe down to find purchase. And it separates his shoulder armor, and his blood erupts from the wound as you deal your damage to him, but he is still standing.
I'm still standing.
Oh, that's my turn.
Ah, damn it. We lost Joybane again.
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
Placeholder.
All right.
I definitely thought you were to say bring the thunder.
Yes.
So with that, Griselda, it is your turn.
Okay. All right. So, Grizz is going to. So actually, I have a question because I've never played a rogue before, and
Sure.
so as far as like hiding, bonus
Mhm.
action, there has to be something around me that I can hide, or like I still have to have enough movement to like get to cover, basically.
Yes. So with hiding, you have to have something that's like blocking their view of you. You can't just
Okay.
hide. You can't just be like, I am in the middle of the floor and I hide.
You don't have object
Right.
permanence.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. I just wanted to confirm. All right, I'm gonna fly up, like, yeah, yep. I'm gonna fly up right next to this dude. Nope. I measured
Mhm.
it again. It didn't fly. There I go.
Fly, you fool.
Come on. There we go. Why can't I get up from the dais?
Oh, I can put you. When you want to be up here next to him?
Yes, that's exactly, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a wall.
Oh, I see. Very good. But he doesn't really. Does he notice me? Can I sneak attack?
Well, Joybane is up there next to him, so you will get sneak
Right.
attack anyway, but
Okay.
you will not have advantage on this.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Apologies for the questions.
No, questions are important. That's how we play the game. The game is
One-shots
a
are a
game
good
of
time to learn.
questions. Can I do this? Yes.
Can I do that?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh.
And
Oh.
No.
Extra life. Have we got good
Extra
news
life.
for you?
oh, that one's for the kids. That one's for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
kids.
folks, this
It was for the
natural one
kids.
is for the kids.
Failure is
Yeah.
success.
Okay, so that was that was with your dagger. Now, if you had another dagger, you
I
could
do.
use your bonus action to make another attack.
Okay. All right, then yeah. Let's at least
But
try
you
that.
will not be able to hide.
Hide after it, yeah.
Ooh,
But I want to be effective. Come on.
17.
Is 17 hit?
17. The first one just sort of like fly up, and you get your dagger out ready to go, and you just sort of like you'll remember that there's the arcane shield there, and you kind of like go, I don't know if that's still, and by the time you figure it out, you kind of like miss your opportunity to get that strike. The second one, you definitely think that you strike true, and your dagger gets stuck in that arcane shield buckler.
Arcane.
Curses. Curses. Curses.
Spoiled again.
Okay. Well, that's my turn. Because
Okay.
I can't hide and I can't disengage. So I'm gonna just hang out right there.
Sure. So now it is his turn. So seeing you all there, yeah, let's see. What's the best thing that he could do? Seeing you all there, he's actually going to. Yeah, it's just like he looks at you, Griselda, and goes, "Pesky little annoying thing, be gone."
Excuse me.
And I need you to make a Lithy
Uh-oh.
Constitution saving throw.
You got this, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Question, DM.
Yeah.
Because I've never been able to do this before. So, counterspell. As long as I have the
Yes.
spell slots, can I cast it again, or is that a one-time?
Did you cast it after your turn this round?
I casted it after
believe that
my
you
turn
did.
last time. Yeah, after my turn.
Yeah.
So this
I
might
believe,
still
like,
be the same round, isn't it?
It's because it's the same round. You have already used your reaction.
Yep, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
So,
fine because I got a natural 20. Pew, pew, pew,
That's a
pew.
natural 20. Whip, 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 All right.
So that's a total of 21.
All right. Perfect.
Not a lot
So-
of constitution on that fairy.
Oh, there's Joe
All right.
Bane again.
The hardy fairy.
No.
So he points at you, and this sort of like dark, sickly energy gathers at his fingertip, and he says, "Be gone!" And you're hit with this, necrotic beam,
and you feel as it hits you, it starts to like wrest your life force from your body, but you steel yourself and you pull, you manage to keep some of it back. She's back.
She was banished and the spell
Sorry.
And as it hits you, you manage to hold on to your life force. Instead of taking 48 points,
Oh my god.
you take 24
gosh.
points of necrotic damage.
Woof.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, woof.
Oy.
Woof, woof.
That hurts.
That
Hurts
does.
so good.
But I still have those temporary hit points. So you said 24
Mhm.
minus that. So that's 19.
And being up with y'all, he is just going to stay there. This knight now is going to let's see what he can do. He's going to disengage, not take the disengage action, but go away from you, Parthos. So if you want to take a attack of
Oh.
opportunity.
Oh, I will.
May I?
Oh, so close.
28 to hit.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Wing true.
That's one opportunistic attack.
Yeah.
For 15 points of damage.
All right. So, as he steps away from you, and his intention, he starts to move towards Kellum, and you just, catch him on his way away from you, and he doesn't get far because your axe embeds itself into the back of his neck, and his head gets farther than his body does.
Swing for the fences.
Alas, poor Yorick.
Oh, Joybane, you're back. Alas, poor Yorick.
I think what was funnier was that Kellum's camera, his head got cut off for
Yeah.
a second.
The lights become an issue, actually.
Yeah.
But as he does not get away from you, you see now there are 2 more guards that come out from behind these pillars. One of them is going to take his heavy crossbow, take a shot at you, Parthos.
Am I still
So-
hasted?
Yes, you are hasted, so you have your
Okay.
additional AC
Okay.
there. It's not going to, but his shot is going to just go wide as he just loads his crossbow as he comes out from behind the pillar and shoots wide as he is trying to sort of thread a needle here. And the second one is going to take a shot at Griselda, being the one who just came up and harried the king there. Another attack with them. Boop. But again, just getting those bolts loaded is a kind of a challenge for them. And they just can't seem to hit. Back up to the top of the round, it is Lyric.
All right. I'm going to step out here without actually considering this as movement, just because I can't see what's here without having to move here.
Sure.
So that would be 5 if I'm moving, and I want to. The king is okay. That's perfect. Okay. All right. So I am going to bonus action cast Banishing Smite, and
Okay.
skid up here, and I'm going to try to hit him with my rapier.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, do it.
You motherfucker.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oofity oof.
Pretty oof.
15. No bueno.
15.
Oh, low as shit.
15 just hits.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Nice. Okay, cool, because this thing is nasty. It's a 5th level spell. It does 5d10 damage. I haven't even rolled my rapier yet, so that's 37 damage. And then my rapier does 7, so 44.
Oh.
And then
And
then I'm the lady in the drive-thru. If it reduces him to 50 hit points or fewer, he is banished.
Is there a save on that?
There really isn't.
Sybil slain in the king banished.
All right.
Reading the description, it looks like it's until the spell ends, which is
Yeah.
up to a minute.
And that's why it's on the paladin spell list, so they don't get it until like level 17. But oops.
Okay.
When you break your bard.
Cards, man.
Okay.
I just like walk up and I'm like,
Back.
Lyric the baked potato.
I'm like,
Baked
Baked potato.
Ah,
I love that
potatoes
so
can't
much.
do no wrong.
No.
All
he is a
right.
baked potato.
You piece of shit. So, before you hit him,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
well, when you hit him, it says that if he's got 50 HP or lower,
Mm-hmm.
or lower than 50 HP.
If it reduces him to 50 or lower.
That amount of damage that you did took him to exactly 50. So, Lyric,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm going to ask Chris to gather himself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to ask Lyric to finish this fight.
Okay. Lyric, God, I can't remember what he said. But he comes, Lyric just comes running in like, "Ah!" and just like wavering his rapier around and just kind of boop, pokes him. But as he says it, with all this weird damage and shit, he just says, I will tear you apart myself.
Yes.
So you run up. You have this energy around your rapier, and you go and you just poke him as you drop this badass lie on him. His own words. And with his own words, that energy transfers off of your sword and onto him. And in a style akin to the Witch King of Angmar, and he just sort of folds in to himself and goes, and he goes, "No, I will not die." And he disappears. And the guards that came out from behind the pillars to sort of as his retainers look at what has transpired and just each of them puts up their visor, and you can see a look of utter shock on their faces. And in a very like Wicked Witch of the West
like her guards. It's just like he's gone. He's really gone?
He's really gone.
His own words and his own lisp.
Because it was the best lisp. Ryan's
It was.
awesome.
It was.
Was.
It's very good.
Then you have freed us. You have freed this kingdom. Come, heroes. Come, you must be celebrated. And they sort of come up to you and like lead you all out. As he is banished, you see this, the prismatic wall that was against the door vanishes with him. Then they lead you to go out of the throne room. Just like you are heroes to this kingdom. You were before by doing your great deeds, but banishing the tyrant, the mad King Armarian. This kingdom owes you a debt it cannot possibly repay. But we can start. Come, we will show you to the treasure room. And as you're led along the castle from which this king resides, you're led into a vault. And the vault is stacked like Scrooge McDuck style.
Yes.
Just full of gold
Perfect.
coins and jewels. And they say, take what you believe is necessary, but remember that we must have some to right the wrongs that have long plagued this kingdom. And the people must be seen to. You will bother us no longer. Please. You have earned this.
Kellum gives like a small bow to the two guards and says, with all due respect, give my share to the people of this land. They need it much more than I do, and I learned that knowledge is truly the most valuable treasure. Because I'm gonna study with a dragon.
All right. Like with that line, how could you not end on such a line?
Yeah, really.
That
Right.
more you know. Reading is power.
Kellum is my PSA character.
That's right.
Nice.
Folks, that was a Dungeon and Dragon. I hope that you all had
good job.
fun. I
Yeah.
certainly
Oh,
had
I
fun
loved it.
getting
Great
my
time.
shit
Thank you.
fucking rocked.
Yeah.
That was
God
damn.
fucking
Finishing
awesome.
Amazing.
Of all the things a bard to take, that's incredible.
Because I looked through everyone's character sheets and I was reading Chris's and I was like, this is crazy. I love it.
Yes.
I had to wait until he actually looked like he took damage to gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
he did. He took some damage and he
Like the Witch King of Angmar. I love that.
yeah.
Just crumpled.
But thank you all for joining us for this second part of our Extra Life Game Day stream marathon. There's a third part. I can count. I talk for a living. I don't do that, which is why I DM is beyond me.
It's talking and math.
Yeah, it's talking and math. There's a third part coming up at what time,
6?
Chris?
Yeah.
6 p.m.
In less than an
So
hour.
stick around. Have a break. I need a cigarette after that. I don't even smoke.
Bring me off a piece of that football cream.
But thank you all for joining us. Once again, my name is Ryan Kaz, and you can find me at Ryan K Plays on Twitch and Twitter. Andrew, who are you, and where can they find you? Make this sort of quick.
You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter at ChronoRaven28.
All right, George.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JSLivingstonVO.
All right. If you want to be found on the internet, not everyone.
I so want to be found.
DG. Or Intrepid Kellum.
I don't have a Twitter yet because I want to get it for VO, but I hate it for everything else that Twitter is.
That's fair.
So listen to the podcast that I'm on, Heinous Investigations. It's a scripted little thing, very Scooby-Doo-esque. Give it a listen.
That's fun. I didn't know that. All right. Raven.
Don't find me.
Don't look. You'll never
Goodbye
find me.
forever.
I'll find you.
Don't look for me.
Don't
I'll be
seek
here
out
at
Her
6 o'clock.
Majesty.
All right.
Exactly. I'll be here at 6 o'clock. But other than that, nope. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Awesome. Nicole.
Also, don't find me. At least not right now. Got some things in the works for later.
Perfect. That's perfectly fine. The internet is a daunting place. But last and certainly not least, especially when he brings out the thing to kill my big bad in one hit. Chris, bring us home.
Yay! Hi.
Yay.
You can find me in your local grocery store in the vegetable section under baked potato.
Nice.
So, yeah. Shop local.
Shop local.
Don't eat Kellogg's.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
And
eat Kellogg's.
don't eat at Applebee's.
Don't eat at Applebee's.
I mean,
Yo,
like,
don't
We're
hate
building
too
a
hard on
thing.
Applebee's.
We're just building a thing.
You can find me in your grandchildren's history book.
hey,
Someday, maybe. I don't know.
cryptic. And with that,
Give it 20.
and with that, look, he ended the game on a strong note, and then it went downhill from there.
Nice.
Folks, stick around. Come back to us at 6 p.m. You got about 50 or so minutes until then. But until then, please be good to each other, be awesome, and be hate with love.
Yes.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.